so that the same or similar questions are not repeated. The purpose of our forum is to introduce you to the candidates, educate the voters about the candidates' views on just a few issues this evening, and promote interest and participation in the mayoral election. No candidate information or candidate signs are allowed in the auditorium. There are tables in the entryway for the candidates' brochures, pamphlets, and signs. Our League of Women Voters is live streaming this forum. Those unable to attend or who must leave early can view the entire forum on our League Facebook page and website. The League of Women Voters of the United States recommends that all League forums fall within the FCC regulations and will allow only audio video to be broadcast in its entirety, except by the media reporting on the event. Please silence your cell phones at this time so there are no interruptions. And please hold your applause until the end of the forum, since our time here is limited. I think it's about time we get started. It's 1 minute to 6. Depends. My clock goes as 1 minute after, so I guess we're pretty well set here. Are we on time? Oh, just hit 6 o'clock. Okay, let's get started. First off, the candidates will give a little two-minute introduction about themselves and their reasons for running. So let's start down there with Mr. Buckley.
Good evening. First, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for putting on this forum this evening, and all of you for attending. And I'd also like to take the opportunity, in case there's any law enforcement officers in the audience, because this is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. That being said, with my background as a retired law enforcement officer, in which I served on the Brown County Drug Task Force, City Patrol, City SWAT Team, and the Community Policing Unit for the city. And while doing so, I had the opportunity to eat at a certain restaurant quite often. And I often thought, wouldn't it be much cheaper if I just owned the place? So I ended up buying it in 1994. 25 years later, I own 57 of them with over 700 employees. I know how to get things done. So when I look at my background, after police work, I served on the city council, where I served on the redevelopment authority, personnel, finance, and currently I sit on the county board, in which I'm the chair of the public safety committee and sit on the executive committee. With that background, I look at the position of mayor of the city of Green Bay, not as a job, not as a continuation of a political career, but I look at it as how I, as mayor, can serve the citizens of Green Bay to make it a better place to live, work, and retire. To do so, there's some key points we have to take care of. We have to enhance our public safety, that includes police, fire, and rescue, continue to grow our economic development throughout the whole city, provide opportunities to live, work, and retire in the city of Green Bay, and also streets and infrastructure. In one word, some of the streets are horrendous.
Thank you, Mr. Buckley. We'll go on to Mr. Evans now. I know time moves real fast.
All right, well, they got the clock on me now, so I want to thank you, the League of Women Voters, for having this event, and I want to thank everybody for coming today as well. I'll give you a little bit of background of who I am, Pat Evans, lifelong Green Bay resident, born and raised here, went to Southwest High School and UWGB. My educational background is I do have a bachelor's degree in business, and I have a Master of Science in Organizational Leadership and Quality. I also have a Spanish degree as well. So I do speak Spanish and Portuguese. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm getting some Okay, so my bachelor's degree in business, master's degree as well. I speak Spanish and Portuguese. So my business background, I've been afforded to be a director, vice president, and president of multi-million-dollar organizations. I've conducted business in 30 countries in the world, and I've worked with many Fortune 500 and 100 companies throughout our world. I was, for example, I was the president of the St. Mary's Hospital Credit Union, where it was a failing credit union. I took it over and made it profitable. So, community, I have been afforded I was awarded the Community Impact Award from the United Way for the work I do for children and for child abuse and neglect. Also the Excellence in Partnerships for Children from the Educational Council for the work I do for children who've been abused and neglected as well. I've been a 2-time finalist for the Press Gazette Person of the Year for the work I do for adults who are developmentally disabled. And about 10 years ago, I was one of the 40 people under 40 you should know by the Green Bay Chamber of Commerce. Local government, I've been on the county board for 17 years, basically. Chairman of the Human Services Committee, been on the Executive Committee in Public Safety. I'm the only candidate anybody running that has voted for a budget that has frozen taxes, reduced our bonding, reduced our debt, no bonding, kept the services at the level that it's been,